She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants a life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there.
She
Stay
tells
up there.
him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I got to
Stay up
do.
there. Stay up
So
there.
rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Somebody's got you, rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Rock-a-bye.
So that's Rockabye. I like that song. It's cool, catchy. I like the message too. She's telling her daughter, I'm going to love you and take care of you, and you're going to have a good life, and I'm going to protect you. And, you know, I could dig that. That's what's up. So anyhow, I'm coming from Romans 8:28. This is one of my favorite scriptures right here. I know this one like the back of my hand. Like I could quote the scripture in my sleep. It's just very comforting. All things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. All things, not a few things, but I'll read it. It says, and we know that all things work together for the good of them, for the good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. It continues in 29, from whom he did foreknow, he also did, 29, for whom he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image. But I don't want to go into that. I want to stay with just 8:28. Particularly, all things work together for the good of those that love God. All things, not a few things, not some things, but all things. The reason why this came into my spirit and I wanted to share this is because we sometimes think that we think that our growth is complete. We sometimes think that our maturity is complete, right? We become adults, we have children, we get married. Some of us, we go through, you know, different stages in terms of our careers, our business. We accumulate certain materials, whether that be a house, vehicle, multiple homes, you know, again, we have children, et cetera, et cetera. So we come to a point where we do become complacent with our self-development. We might not be complacent with our material gain, our worldly acquisitions. But when it comes to our personal development, a lot of us by default become complacent or self-satisfactory, or we just, it's not something that we even have in the rate. It's so far under the radar. It's not something that we have in our consciousness. We don't spend time developing and maximizing our true potential and becoming the good, better, best version of ourselves. So Romans 8:28 is interesting because what it tells us is I'm going through my own personal stuff, right? And sometimes I find myself, you know, what's the famous thing? Why, God, right? Why me? Or why at this point, right? And the answer to that is why not you? But more importantly, the answer to that is because why you is because there's still more juice to squeeze out of your orange, if that makes any sense, right? It's allegorical, right? It's metaphorical. There's still more juice in the orange, right? You still have more in you that we can extract, that we can bring out. So if you actually, you know, so when Romans 8:28 says all things work together for the good, because every time something happens in your life, there's always a reason. There's always a purpose. And it's up to us to don't miss the opportunity, right? What we see as look, there's a saying that adversity, some people say adversity builds character, but I'm on the other side of the fence. I believe adversity reveals character. It doesn't build it. There are those who say adversity, hardships, difficulties build your character, and there are those that have two schools of thought. There's those who say that it doesn't necessarily build it. What it does is it reveals it. I'm of the school of thought that it reveals it, right? Difficulties, adversities, challenges problems in life are going to reveal to you who you are. It's going to show to you what you are made of. And Romans 8:28, when it says all things work together for the good, it says all things work together for the good, which there's an implication that for is a preposition, right? In terms of grammar, it's a preposition in a direction towards, for the good, right? So that implies that while those things are working, which is a verb, right? A gerund verb, work in has the participle ing. So all things, while it's working, all things work together for the good. But while it's working, what we're doing here is we are doing exegetical, right? We're going to dig into it and grammatically reconstruct it so we can really, squeeze the juice, the sweetness out of this lemon. All things work together for the good, for the good. The good, definitive, right? The is a definitive, right? The good. But while it's working, it might not be good. All things work together for the good. But until we get to the good, because again, for is a preposition, until we get to the good, while all those things are working, and all those things, what are all those things that work together for the good? All those things are the difficulties. All those things are the heartaches. All those things are the pain. All those things are the crying. All those things are the losses. All those things are the disappointments, the misery, the dismay, despair. All those things are the falling down, the failures, a time and time again. All those things work together for the good. So until we get to the good, all these things that are working, right? They're there to shame on us should we see an adversity, a difficulty as just an adversity or a difficulty. A challenge as just a challenge. Shame on us if that be the perspective, the frame of reference from which we choose to perceive the perceived challenge, difficulty, adversity. Because what we should be able to do is, one, we can definitely calculate it from that perspective, but we should also do our best to see it from another perspective, another frame of reference, to calculate and assess it from a different standpoint or a different vantage point, which is, it is an opportunity. What you look at as a challenge, difficulty, and hardship is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to develop parts of your character, parts of your psychological, mental disposition, parts of your personality that is not yet complete. Because no one person that is living is absolutely 100% perfect. No one man or woman, any adult, is completely whole, right? We are all to some extent broken. We're all to some extent sick. We're all to some extent unfixed. So these things, these workings, these things that happen, all these things that are working together for our good, all these things are opportunities. There are opportunities for us to become the better version, the best version, the superlative version of ourselves. And it is to bring the best out of you. Now, here's the thing. This is a part of our humanity. It's not a part of our divinity. There's a triunity of man, okay? This is a part of our humanity, not a part of our divinity. The parts of our humanity that I'm appealing to is that as humans, we gravitate towards pleasure, we gravitate towards comfort, we gravitate towards all the things pertaining to feel-good effects. Everyone, it's part of our humanity. We all want to feel comfortable, and we all want to feel pleasure, and we all want to feel safe and secure and good. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is part of our human nature. But what that does, when that has preeminence, that makes us shrink back from these challenges. That makes us afraid to face all those things that are supposed to work for our good. That makes us lack courage, boldness, and discipline. So that's part of your humanity. However, your divinity is not subjected to pleasure, comfort, good feelings, etc. Your divinity is that divine nature in you that can only be exercised, can only be exhibited by all these things that are working together for your good. So it's important that we understand that what we see as hardships, adversities, difficulties are opportunities. They're opportunities for us to become a fully developed species, a more advanced organism. They are opportunities to spend quality time with God. We talk about spending quality time with our spouses, right? Whether it's your wife, your husband, your dog, your cat, whatever, I don't know, whatever, but we talk about spending quality time with our significant others. And, sometimes we got to spend quality time with God. You know what I'm saying? You got to set aside some time and spend that quality, give him that the same thing, that one-on-one. And when you spend that quality time, sometimes this is why these challenges, these difficulties will arise, will pop up into your lives, because other than that, you will never spend quality time with God. Let's be honest, right? We live in a super highway of information, super highway information, social technology, all this stuff. Like everything is just coming at us at 1,000 miles per second, right? 1,000 miles an hour, right? So we are constantly overwhelmed and bombarded by a variety of distractions. So sometimes these things happen, difficulties, challenges, whatever it may be, for God to get our attention and say, hey, what about me? Our relationship is suffering. You don't call no more. When we first met, you used to come over, you used to call me every time. Now you don't return my calls. All I get is your voicemail. Like, you don't pick up your phone. You screening my phone calls. Like, what's up? Like, yo, what, you cheating on me or something? Like, God's like, yo, I thought we had a special thing going here. So, again, Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. And we have to keep that in mind. We have to understand that no matter what the trial is, no matter what the test, because life is a series of tests. And when you pass one test, there's another one waiting. And then you pass that, there's another one waiting. There's always going to be a test somewhere along the journey. So once you keep that in mind, that there are a series of tests, then you won't be baffled by, wait a minute, I just passed the test last week. Why am I taking the test again? Right? So you won't be shocked and awed and caught off guard. So it's a series of tests, trials, and but just keep in mind 8:28, Romans 8:28, all things, not a few things, not some things, not all things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So it might not look like it's working for your good, but in the end, it's working for your good. And there's always the key takeaway here is this, folks. In the adversity lies the solution. In the challenge lies the answer. In the difficulty, you will find, again, provided that you are attentive and you're not whining, complaining, and crying, provided you be still and become conscious of, and aware of what's going on, you will find hidden within the very challenge, the very difficulty, the very problem, within the belly of the problem, you will find a solution. You will find the answer. You will find you can call it, you will have an epiphany, which is a revelation, an awakening, an enlightening. And you will begin to see what part of your spirit man is actually being exercised by the opportunity. not the adversity, not the it's not an adversity, folks. It's not a difficulty. It's not a challenge. It's an opportunity. See, words matter. And if you tell yourself, wow, this is going to be hard. Wow, this is difficult. Wow, what a challenge. Wow, it will be that. But if you tell yourself, wow, an opportunity for me to grow. You see how welcoming that sounds? I'm a salesman. I've been doing sales for years. There's something called euphemism and dysphemism. You don't want to use dysphemism. You want to use euphemism, euphemistically speaking. Look it up. I'm not going to give you guys everything, all right? I'll give you that much, though. Look it up. Euphemism. It's an amazing definition. Look it up. And so when you see things and you couch, however you want to say it, you couch them with certain words, and as opposed to saying, man, this is going to be hard, this is difficult, why me, why this challenge, when you start to look at it, wow, okay, well, rather than why, what am I supposed to learn from this? What's the opportunity here? What's the gem, jewel? What is the wisdom that I'm supposed to get from this? Because, folks, the sharper your knife is, the more you can cut. The more you can cut through life. The sharper you are, the more you can cut through life. And you become a source of strength. If there's no discomfort, there's no growth. If you aren't uncomfortable, you're not going to grow. So sometimes, you know, when Jesus told Peter to come out on the water, a lot of them were afraid because they were comfortable in their boat. To walk on water requires some serious faith, right? You could take it literal or you could take it allegorical, metaphorical. It's an anecdote. It's an anecdotal, you know, it's anecdotal. And, you know, to step out on faith with no security net, not knowing, you know, going into the unknown, there is an inherent fear that comes with that. But folks, make no mistake about it. Fear can be your best friend. A lot of people are fear reversed. Don't be fear reversed. Fear can be your best friend. If you're going out to start a business, you better be afraid. You better have some fear there. If you're an entrepreneur, you better have some fear, because fear is the fuel that's going to drive you. Put it like this. Consider fear high octane, or consider fear 97. Right? It's that premium gas, right? And you can't drive your car with no gas in the tank. You're going to need gas. Fear is the gas that goes in the tank of the car. Used properly, it will motivate and catapult you to heights that you never thought possible, that you can get to on your own. So a little bit of fear, a healthy amount of fear is necessary. Okay? So again, you can't be comfortable and grow. If you're in your comfort zone, your growth is stumped. It's minuscule at best. There is again, very small. If you look, you can go through life being ordinary, and I guess that's cool, right? For some of us, if that's what you want, hey, more power to you. Be ordinary, or you could be extraordinary. And to be extraordinary, right? Compound word, extra and ordinary. To be extraordinary or extraordinary, you have to do extra things, right? Because the prefix is extra, right? So if you're going to be extraordinary, you have to do extra. And that extra could be meaning that you're going to be uncomfortable. But the dividends are well worth it. So till next time, y'all know what we're doing. Cooking books, bringing information. Peace.
Single mom, what you doing out there? Facing the hard life without no fear. Just see and know that you really care, cause any obstacle come, you well prepare. And no, mama, you never shed tear, cause you have to set things year after year. And you give the youth love beyond compare. You find the school fee and the bus fare. Already pops.